Welcome to 1856 First Church, Pella, Iowa podcast. Well, good afternoon, Breanne. It is so good to be here on this February day, of which the last few days have been in the 60s.
It has been, and it is wonderful. My kids have already busted out their shorts, but we're very glad to have you back.
Well, we're glad to be back, and tell those kids to put those shorts away because it could snow by the end of the week, which is very exciting.
I know, but I don't know that will impact them. Once they come out, they don't go back.
I was walking with my wife the other day in Central Park, and we walked by the windmill, and we saw little tulips peeking up through the dirt.
Already?
Already. They've been fooled by this. So I'm sure the Pella Historical Society is on their knees praying that it gets colder really quick.
Well, yeah. I hope they don't wet their plants either.
Yes, yes. And it could rain tomorrow or it could snow.
This is true. This is true.
Well, it is good to be back, and it's missed the podcast. Maybe sometime we can get sophisticated enough so that we could do a podcast from the site in Israel.
Know. We did try, but the time difference is a little tricky.
Well, it is tricky. Last week at this time, on Tuesday of last week, we were at Mount Gerizim, and I will say that we were freezing our kneecaps off.
Wow.
It was about 52 degrees with wind that made the flags absolutely stiff.
Oh, wow.
And everybody was bundled up like they were in Greenland. But that was a cold day, but at least we had jackets on.
Good. Well, tomorrow we have Ash Wednesday. Are you
Tomorrow
ready for
is
that?
Ash Wednesday. It's the first day of Lent, of which it's a significant day. And I was walking by a business establishment this morning that was obviously putting out beads like they do in New Orleans to remember Fat Tuesday, of which is a day of partying in places like New Orleans, but we don't get caught up in that. But we do get caught up in the idea that Lent is a good season of reflection. And so I never really knew what the meaning of those things, because I grew up in a church environment that didn't have anything to do with Lent. And so I didn't know what the ashes were until I did my student teaching at a Catholic school. And I walked into the faculty lounge and I kept looking at people's foreheads saying, you have something on your forehead. And then they always referred to me as the Protestant. And so they gave me a little lesson in what that was all about. And I came to believe that, it's good. It's good. There's nothing magical about ashes, but it's a reminder that from dust to dust.
Right.
And without Christ, our life cannot be complete. And so now in this season, sometimes people will make a commitment, during this season, I want to focus more on this or that. It's not a works related thing. So when people say they're giving up chocolate for Lent, I think, I pull out this deep theological phrase, whippy ding dong. But I think if we're going to make a commitment, why don't we make a commitment to, spending more time in prayer, or, I'm going to take this time to read the Bible a little bit more. So tomorrow we're going to be here for an hour, and Mike Melody and I are going to lead that, and we'll sing a little bit, and we just have a few words to say from the scriptures. We can give you the sign of the cross with the ash on your forehead, pray over you, and just pray that the Lord would give you a very fulfilling and fruitful season. So, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I find it to be a very big blessing. That to start out the Lenten season. So.
So good. We'll be glad to see you.
Excellent.
But today,
That's
Breanne,
right.
we have guests sitting next to us.
We do.
So much that I'm almost shaking in my seat. I'm so excited.
You had a great sermon, but we decided not to do that today. But
yes,
instead,
we're not going to do John 1. We'll do the last half of John 1 next week. But I had the privilege, along with my wife, of escorting 37 people to Israel. And it was a blessing. And so we said we'd do a podcast when we got back. So we chose the most valuable,
I'm glad you brought them
most
back.
beautiful, kindest, most encouraging people on the tour. And that is Debbie Nelson to my right and Barbra Boertje DeVries to my left. And so I'm thrilled that they're here to let's talk about the trip a little bit. I had every impression that they had a good time, so I'm hoping that will be consistent in our time together. But Breanne, you're the inquisitive one.
Well,
Maybe you have some questions for our guests.
I plan to grill them about this,
we don't want to grill.
Yes, exactly. Well, I thought for our listeners who might not be familiar with the both of you, if you could just share a little about your connection to First Church or the trip necessarily, maybe how you found Pastor Bob. Barbra, do you want to go first?
I am a member of First Church, and I grew up here and then was away for about 30 years. And then my husband, Jeff, and I moved back in 2012. And Pastor Bob claims that I'm on loan right now, and I have been for about 10 years or so, to Cornerstone Church, where I'm serving as the worship coordinator. And Debbie has become a very dear friend. And she accompanies our choir, and she's an organist there.
That's good.
I've met Barbra through, as she said, through the church, and then she introduced me to Morning Connect.
Oh, very nice.
And so I started coming and enjoyed Pastor Bob very, very much. And then I asked my friend Marilyn to come, and then we've got some more people coming, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah, I think you came to our country line dancing night. Now that I
yes,
remember,
we did.
Yes. Yeah, both
wasn't
did.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that was great fun. Not too good at it, but it was great fun.
Well, when people get up at 6:30 in the morning, well, I'll get up before that, but they're here at 6:30 in the morning on Tuesday. They're here for the Word of God. So grateful to have both these ladies in my life.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you guys making time to be here. And so, Pastor Bob, how many trips is this to Israel now?
Well, it's 4 for me, and every trip is fresh.
Okay.
Because I learn new things every trip. So I'm elated when people get to go their first time, but the first time I went, I took notes like a crazy man, and that was beneficial to me. But then the next time I went back, I thought, I'm not lifting a pen until I get back to my hotel room. And it's just so nice to be able to soak it in.
Yeah,
and
that's an interesting way to take it in each time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very neat. Was this your biggest trip of attendees?
Nope. My biggest trip was 50.
50.
And when you take a trip like this, 50 means 50 bladders. Because using the restroom over in a foreign country, you've got to make sure you get the right ones. And so that can add a little time to your day. But it's a beautiful group, a beautiful sized group. And yeah, it was very nice.
Very nice. And so what was the goal of the trip? Why do you like to take a group there every year?
Well, I always wanted to go to Israel mainly out of curiosity. I just thought personally, it's got to be cool to go walk where Jesus walked and, see this and that. I think I was just positively overwhelmed the first time I went, and which now I've made them my goals for bringing other people. That's why we have a passion to do this. I mean, there's nothing in it for us really other than the fact that we love to see people's hearts expanded for the Bible. So kind of my fourfold reasons for going to Israel now is I do want people to see these places. It's great to go up on Mount Carmel and see where Elijah actually had this contest between Baal, the prophets of Baal, and the Lord Almighty. It's great to be out on the Sea of Galilee where Jesus walked on this very water, or stand by the seashore. Those things are all great. I don't want to diminish that. And then along the way, too, I just believe God meets people in these moments. I really do. I believe that there's a transformative nature to being on the seashore in Galilee when Jesus was talking to Peter and saying, "Do you love me?" And feed my sheep. And so I do expect there to be transformation that takes place in people. I love to hear that. I think my life's been changed by being here. And then a third thing is understanding Jewish people and understanding the place of Israel, first of all, in the world right now. What does that look like? 1/4% of the people in Israel right now are Christians. That should burden our hearts. Right. And so I want people to realize that, and also to know, too, from the very people that are in Israel, to hear what's going on rather than from our local news outlets. So this isn't a tour that we're getting political stuff every day, but it's important that people hear the truth.
Sure.
And then finally, and not necessarily in order of importance, it's important for us to see where Israel's at in the Bible. Because there are those people who just literally put Israel off to the side. It's no longer important. And I was very convicted from my first trip on that. And I actually, when I went over my first time, I wasn't leading a group of there. I was just going there to take it in. And I said, please teach me, because I don't think I've been taught this. And so Israel is very much alive in the scriptures. They haven't been replaced by the church. Israel is going to be there at the end. And while the church is incredibly important, God never has forgotten his promises to his people. So again, it's good to hear that from those people who trust Christ in Israel, so they're not just hearing it from Pastor Bob's mouth. So I feel if people can come away with a portion of all four of those things, chances are they're going to come back and say, my life has really been enriched. I don't know, ladies, do you feel that that's pretty accurate?
Definitely. Definitely.
Well, can you both share why you chose to go on the trip? Debbie, do you want to start?
I was just very interested in all of it. And we've been studying it, and I wanted to try experience it. But then when he said we were going to go to the Jordan River and be baptized, I thought, hey, I'm in. Okay. And that was a very emotional, wonderful experience. And it was spiritually renewing. Like all my guilt, all my shame, my sin washed away. I can start anew.
Good. You didn't get washed away down the Jordan River.
No.
Okay, good.
But I have to give credit to Debbie, because when I walked down in the Jordan, we did it the first thing in the day, of which I've never done it the first thing in the day. It was about 55, 57 degrees.
Yeah,
I have no idea how cold the water is. Anyway, I walked down. My back is to the rest of the people. They're looking down saying things like, how is it, Pastor Bob? And I said, it's great. It's great. And so finally I turned around with the water up just below my neck. I'm not very tall. And I looked up and I said, who's going first?
Ooh,
and it was Debbie. Debbie, who was the gutsy one that came down first. And in her beautiful Minnesota accent, she got down to the bottom. Ooh, I think it's a little colder than you spoke of.
You didn't do one of those bear plunges up there in Minnesota?
No.
To prepare?
No. We don't do plunges because Jordan, the country of Jordan, is literally 8 feet away, and we're told not to go to Jordan.
Yeah, probably not.
And then if we get caught in the current, it doesn't spill out till the Dead Sea. So
Pastor Bob likes to bring everybody home.
We want to stay contained, especially Debbie.
Yes.
But it was really, really neat.
Okay.
Very nice. And Barbra was very kind and got it on video. And
very nice.
So,
good. Well, I'm glad that Pastor Bob didn't have to twist your arm to go and that you really wanted to go.
No. It was wonderful.
Great. And Barbra?
Actually, my husband, Jeff, was very interested in going on this trip. And I said, I don't have time. In fact, he said, I'm going to go to Pastor Bob's meeting. And I said, great, you go ahead. I just don't have time. And then he came back. He said, I really think we should go. And then I started thinking about what I would need to adjust to go. And everyone who I felt I needed, quote, permission from said, yes, sounds like a great trip. Do it. Yep. And I thought, okay, we're going.
That's great.
Yeah. And it really was a life-changing experience. And it will take me a long time to continue processing all of this information. But I'm just so grateful for the opportunity.
Well, I'm curious. So I love hearing your why, but was there, beyond the Jordan, was there a specific part of the trip that was probably your highlight of the trip? Who would like to go first?
Mine was the baptism.
Was the baptism?
I also got to ride pistachio.
What? Okay, there's a story.
A camel.
We were down at the Dead Sea, and there was this camel. I thought it was fake because he didn't move at all.
Oh,
and I went up to him, and he looked at me, and I went, oh my.
It's a real camel.
This is real. And the guy was standing right there. He says, would you like a ride? I said, you betcha. So I hopped on him. And
there's that accent again.
So I hopped on him, and it was great.
Oh, that's neat. And that was your first time on a camel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, we got to talk about the other camel. I don't even know what the other camel's name was in
I
Sebastian,
don't know that
but
he
it
had
was
any.
a brand new mommy. So
Oh,
she had her
yes.
1 week old baby camel
Okay.
right there, umbilical cord still hanging.
Whoa.
Yes.
But every time mama took a rider, one of us on, and did the little loop, the baby got up and walked right behind.
Yeah, he was, she was, or he, I don't know what.
Well, it was a she since she had the baby.
No,
The baby.
The
Oh,
baby.
the baby.
I don't think I've ever
So
seen a
cute.
baby camel.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's amazing how long the legs are. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Well, that sounds very fun. I love
It
that.
was.
Those will be
Highlight for
memories.
Barbara.
Boy, I was thinking about that. I don't have a single highlight, but
Mhm.
I really enjoyed the different sites and but the experiences that we had, like in the Garden of Gethsemane,
yes.
Mhm.
was just a very special time. We had our own private area there, and Pastor Bob said we could pray alone or pray with others, and it was just a really special time
Mm.
of communion,
Mhm.
of solitude, actually, and then Debbie and I prayed together, and so
Very
that
nice.
was one of
A
the
very
highlights.
meaningful time.
You know, there are times when you're in Israel, and this still is overwhelming to me. So, like the Garden of Gethsemane, where we're at, is 1/5 of the size of the Garden of Gethsemane was when Jesus was there.
Mhm.
But it's as though some things are just kind of frozen in time because olive trees, there are olive trees right in our midst that were there when Jesus was there
Yeah.
because they're 2,000 years
Wow,
old.
That's amazing.
They're still producing olives. And so you do get this feeling, wow, I am literally sitting in an area where Jesus was sitting with trees that Jesus could have been leaning up against.
Yeah.
And we have those scenes a variety of times. It's almost like God preserved different places so that we as pilgrims can come back and experience them.
There was even a sycamore tree, and we thought, oh, Zacchaeus, maybe.
That was
Yeah,
in
that's
Jericho.
right.
Exactly.
Jericho,
Yeah.
So,
Interesting. Well, yeah. Didn't you bring home?
I brought home sycamore nuts.
Yeah, they're sitting on your desk. I
Yep.
thought. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are very tasty. I got to taste one.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Very much.
So, speaking of olive trees, did you guys pick up any olive cooking there?
Oh,
Or
you betcha. Yeah.
Yeah?
Got some olive oil. I
Uh-huh.
picked up some dates,
Okay.
honey,
Wow.
all good stuff.
So now you're going to have to ration it, probably. Does it taste better?
Oh, yeah.
Well, everything's got to taste better. You know, when we when we were in Capernaum, we got to see an authentic from the time period olive press.
Oh, yeah.
And olives in and of themselves sound very boring. But when our guide Isaac gets done telling how they make extra virgin olive oil, regular olive oil for lighting, it's just a fascinating process. And then when you learn that Gethsemane means to press because of the olive trees,
Yeah.
and where did Jesus have this prayer where he was sweating beads of blood in this pressing place? So very fascinating.
Yeah, that is fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of that, I was curious on this trip. So you've talked about your highlight and what was maybe that stuck out in your mind, but I was curious how maybe it grew your faith. Who would like to go first? All right,
Well,
Barbara.
I think Pastor Bob has talked different times about how we need to be biblical bloodhounds.
Mm-hmm.
And that experience has made me think I need to read the Bible more. And I mean, even in this upcoming season of Lent too, that's one thing I think I need to study the Bible more. And we heard that there's Old Testament and New Testament, and there shouldn't be a separation there. And it's so fabulous to see how the Old Testament and the New Testament come together. And so I'm processing a lot right now, but I just feel like I need to dig into my Bible more.
Sure. Was there something that was new to you that you learned while you were on the trip? Or maybe you knew it at one time and it made it come alive there?
Well, in Psalm 122, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. I thought, oh my goodness, this brings a new light on that. And then Psalm 130, verse 7, O Israel, hope in the Lord.
Yeah.
For with the Lord there is steadfast love, and with him is plentiful redemption.
Yeah, so it just sits different now. That's beautiful. That's awesome. Debbie.
I would say it just made, and Pastor Bob said this would happen, it just made the Bible come to alive. Because it just seemed like, okay, I've heard these stories, I read about these stories, these different things, but being there and seeing it, it really does make it seem alive.
Was there something in particular that stuck out? Or
Oh, I can't.
that came alive for you this time? Or not this time, but the time that you've gone?
There's just so many of them did.
Well, these ladies don't know the impact yet is because they got more time to. We're very visual people. We're all visual people. We remember images. And so you'll be reading the Bible and maybe you'll be reading the story of Elijah and you'll go, oh, I could remember what Mount Carmel looks like. Yeah. I can always picture. Or you can even go at Christmas time and as shepherds were abiding in their fields, watching over their flocks by night. Oh, you know what that looks like because we're visual people. Before we just used our imaginations to think, but now we actually have clear images. And I think too, ladies, what you'll find is the connectiveness of the Bible. So for instance, when we go up on the Mount Carmel and we have Elijah, well, it was a few days later, we were over by a palace where they had altars to false gods in front of Omri's castle. Elijah got upset about that, said, we're going to do something about that. We're going to go over to Mount Carmel. So now we've got Sebastian, we've got Mount Carmel, and later on we learned that at the Jordan River where you were baptized, that's a transition time for Jesus. It was also a transition time for Elijah because he got transitioned into heaven on the chariot. And it was a transition time for God's people coming over from the land of Moab into, and those things now get connected.
Right.
And we could remember them.
Yeah.
Believe me, they'll set in.
Yeah, so the fruits are still coming and they'll continue to come probably.
The dates, the olives, the figs will keep coming.
That's right. That's right. Well, I guess, Pastor Bob, was there anything for you that was a particular highlight? I mean, you've been there now a few times. Is there something this time that stuck out to you?
Well, every once in a while, my wife and I experience something new, and I think, am I getting too old? Have we done this before? I'll say to Patty. She says, no, we have not done this before. We walked through some tunnels, of which I know wasn't Debbie's favorite thing, in Megiddo. And it was just amazing, just the craftsmanship, how people did what they did to dig out these tunnels to get water in there. And then this was actually just on a major news feed today, how in Jerusalem, the finding of the new pool of Siloam, they've just, and then they have the road that leads up to the area by the Temple Mount that just opened in December, and that road hadn't been walked on for 2,000 years, and we were walking on it.
We did.
And so that's rather remarkable.
It is.
That's going on there. And then just on a personal aside, I think this time I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, I want to learn how to be a better leader through what I see here and do. So I gave a devotional last night at our consistory meeting, just sharing just 5 snippets of different things that I learned about leadership from the various places that I went. So I'm grateful that the Lord answered my prayer.
Yeah, well, that's very neat. Anyway, as you're learning these things, it's nice for you to share them with others because when you first see it, like as an eyewitness, when you're there, you can hopefully entice people with your excitement to want to go too. Like you were talking about your heart, Barbra, for the area and wanting people to experience it. But beyond your scriptural learning and you're growing in your faith, everybody always wants to know, how's the food?
Outstanding.
So what was your experience with the food?
It was like their buffet. Choose this, choose that. You had so many choices, and there was and it was all so delicious. The breads were amazing.
The breads were good. Okay.
And I had never eaten so much lamb. Prepared different ways. It was just very, very delicious.
Okay.
Very good.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you have some favorites?
The food actually was pretty healthy too.
Wow.
Yes.
What was that? Falafel?
Falafel, yes. Chickpeas.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. And then
Mhm.
a lot of hummus and the lamb was wonderful. Yep. And the
Mhm.
barley soup.
Yes.
It was very good.
Yeah.
The Mediterranean diet is a little bit different, but it's very good. I mean, we're not saying that they didn't have desserts there.
Oh my!
But-
Just a bite of each one.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at desserts. Oh.
Well, yeah. So for our lunch, for our morning meal, breakfast, and dinner, that comes at the hotel. Now, it's not like going to a Best Western in America.
Okay.
I mean, this is expansive buffets for
Yeah.
breakfast, expansive buffets for dinner. And multiple types of meats, multiple types of salads, cheeses, olives, all these things. If you can't find something you like, you have a problem. But lunch was always a little bit of an adventure because we would have fast food per se, but it's not McDonald's or things like
Okay.
that. So kind of the standards, but they make them a little bit different. The falafel, there are these little balls of chickpeas and
Oh,
they
those
deep
were
fat fry them.
So good.
And you
Okay.
dip them in hummus and stuff. So that was something. We had another thing called shawarma,
Shawarma.
of which is like a pita pocket, of which you can put some salads in there, and then they'll either have lamb or beef or chicken in those things. And then another thing that's very popular, it actually came from Germany, but it's very popular. It's called schnitzel.
Yes.
And they look like little chicken tenderloins, but they're very popular there. So those are kind of our three standard lunches that we'd encounter. And then we had a couple special ones, like we go to a man by the name of Mahmoud.
Oh,
And
yes.
Mahmoud he cooks everything there with his family. He's got this restaurant there. We have the wheat or barley soup that you talked about. And it was splendifamous.
It was just very
So
good.
did Isaac, your tour guide, did he have to explain these meals, or is it on the menu this
There
way?
is nothing
or?
on earth that Isaac doesn't explain.
Okay.
And usually twice.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is really helpful for me.
Yes.
Okay.
He was
Yes.
amazing.
Good.
I mean, yes, you will know exactly what falafel is, how it's made, where it came from, what you dip it in. So, yeah, Isaac just has a way of doing that ever so swiftly. I watch him. I sit across from him in the bus, and he never shuts down.
I love it.
It's a beautiful thing.
Is the area commercialized or not at all?
No.
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 Okay.
I mean, because we don't spend time in the commercial area of Jerusalem.
Okay.
I mean, you could find shopping malls, and different things like that, or in Tel Aviv. But quite frankly, we never go to any of those places. So there's really nothing commercial. The restaurants that we go to are kind of off the beaten path.
Which is
And
fun.
we're grateful to be with somebody who knows he knows the people that run the restaurant. So he'll call ahead and say, I'm bringing in 39 people. What are the choices for today? And he'll tell us on the bus, and then we'll go in there, and it'll be nice, cool, and efficient.
It's almost like clockwork, how everything worked so perfectly.
Yeah, I keep hearing that over and over again about your tour guide that
He's amazing.
very
So was
good
the
at-
bus driver.
Oh,
So
okay.
very.
They're
was
in
Pastor
partnership.
Bob.
So was
Really?
Pastor. It was a great.
Well, my
great
goal for the
trio.
people is this, and this is kind of my nature. My wife has to tell me to slow down once in a while. I want people to see as much as they can because they've never been there before, and many won't be able to go back again. Okay. So yeah, there are some places that we go in that'd be nice to sit there for half a day. But in order to see all these things, we literally, our wake up calls are at 6.
Okay.
We're at breakfast at 6:30, and we're usually on the bus by 7:10, so that we
Very
can be
close.
at our first site probably by 7:45 or 8, and we'll run nonstop until 5:15ish, and that's a full day. And we get to see a lot of things. And you know what? We go home tired. My mode with my wife is we get back to the hotel. We have a little time maybe to freshen up. If you want to take a little nap, you can do that or whatever. And we go down for dinner at 7, come back from dinner. We literally get ready and we go to bed.
I bet. Because can you tell people the time difference?
8 hours.
It's 8 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I would be very tired.
It took a little bit to get used to that, but
Oh, I'm sure. And then did you feel rested now that you've been back a few days?
Getting there.
Getting there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I imagine it'll take a little bit. So you had mentioned it's not commercialized and you got some of the local places in, and Isaac took you around. Is there something there from like a tourist perspective that you would recommend to people either to bring home as a gift or for sure something they should do?
We didn't really go to tourist places.
Well, where did you shop, ladies?
There was a Christian store.
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
was pretty amazing. And they had a lot of jewelry and
Hebron glass
yes. Yeah.
and Jerusalem cross.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have 3 stores that we go to because, again, we're not going to Israel to shop. And if you get into more of the touristy areas, then what you do is find a lot of Jewish souvenirs made in China. And that's not really authentic. So we go to 3 authentic places. The one that Barbara just referred to is in Bethlehem.
Okay.
And it's run by a group of Christians.
Okay.
And they have the very, very nice olive wood nativity scenes. Now we're talking nice here. The first time I looked at one, the first time I went, I thought, oh, that's beautiful. And I looked at the price, it was like $2,500. And I thought, oh, it's going to stay here too. But gorgeous stuff, jewelry, all sorts of stuff. And another place that we go to is Hebron glass, of which is really strong glass that you can get, and they'll have dates and things like the sycamore nuts there. And then the third place that we go to is Mahmoud's place, connected with his restaurant. And there he's an antiquities dealer. So you have to be certified in antiquities. So if somebody finds some things that look like artifacts out in a field, they bring them to a person like him. There's only so many of the certified dealers, and then they'll say this is authentic or it's not. So women can buy jewelry if they want, like a widow's mite or something like that. So those are the only 3 places that we go to shop.
Nice. Well, yeah, every time I hear it, it sounds really neat to see what they have there, especially that Christian store that you were talking about.
Very nice.
They have some nice stuff.
And Breanne, these are 2 musicians that we have here.
Yes.
And musicians, what do we like to do over in Israel?
Sing.
That's wonderful.
Where was your favorite place to sing?
St. Anne's Church.
St.
was-
Anne's Church.
Okay.
Amazing. We ended up with doxology. Was it?
We sang 3 songs there.
And
Okay.
I had a few tears.
Oh.
It was just beautiful. The acoustics were.
I can't imagine. Yeah, but it was amazing.
It's a small church run by I believe the Irish Catholic Church.
Okay.
And the fact that it was never destroyed is really an act of God's grace, because so many things have been destroyed over the years. And it's not like going into a big cathedral, but the acoustics are amazing. So the first time I went in, they had a very explicit sign in the front. They don't have that same sign anymore. Well, they have the sign that says no speaking, but they used to have a sign that said only singing.
Oh. Okay.
And so the first time I was there with a bunch of pastors who didn't sing. So I thought, well, okay, whatever. But then every time our group goes there, now Isaac, our guide, knows that we can sing. He actually thinks we're a choir. So he puts us up on the stage and we sing 3 songs. And even as we were walking out this time, a person walked up to my wife and said, wow, you must have rehearsed a long time for that.
Did these ladies accompany you?
No, all a cappella.
Oh, okay. No, Barbara was.
It
She
was
wasn't up front
very,
conducting.
very moving, because most people don't have the experience to sing in a cathedral-like setting and to hear that beautiful echo.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, was there a particular, besides that place, the architecture, was there anything that was really unique to you or stood out?
I don't know. It's still being processed, all these different places, and I have to look
That's
at my
okay.
pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
era.
Well,
If
they'll
we were on
remember.
video.
They'll remember the basilica at the Church of
Okay.
the Nativity, and and that is an amazing place, because they literally have 3 churches in it right now. It's kind of a massive structure, so it has a Catholic church in it. It has an Armenian church in it, and it has a Greek Orthodox church in it. And so that architecture is all very interesting. And here's words that you hear. And I know on your first trip, it's overwhelming. We'll hear Canaanite period or
yes.
Greek period or Byzantine period. The
Crusaders.
Marmaluks came in, the Crusades came in. And so, and there's always effects on architecture, but that's your clue. That's how you can tell who did that.
Okay.
And so that takes a few trips in there to realize, okay, I recognize that. That's very Ottoman
Okay.
in nature.
Oh, no, that's good. Well, I don't want to keep ours, but I want to give you the opportunity to share. If you had to give somebody an elevator speech of your time there, what would you say?
Why would you urge them to go?
It's just for me, it was a once in a lifetime experience that helps bring the Bible to life. This particular trip was one that I didn't know much about Israel. I mean, read about it in the Bible, but it means so much more to me right now, and I feel like I need to truly pray for these people. And it was interesting too, because even in the bus ride every day, we'd see, I mean, the traffic there was pretty amazing. And in a lot of ways, they are like we are. I mean, looking down at the cars, they had their cell phones, and the babies in the front, and not strapped in, and a lot of them weren't wearing seat belts and all that. And but I keep thinking they need the Lord too, and we need to pray for them fervently. And I mean, the Holocaust Museum too. That was just
I imagine
awful. And yet it happened. There were pictures, there were videos, and so on. But Israel is just as real as America,
right.
And they need the Lord just as much as we do. And so, how do we try to reach them? And again, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. So it was just a tremendous experience. And I'm so grateful, Pastor Bob. Thank you for inviting people to go on this trip. My faith truly has been strengthened through it all.
Beautiful.
That's wonderful.
How about you, Debbie?
Well, same thing. My faith has been strengthened, and I feel, I'll be growing immensely. Thank you for that.
It's a beautiful thing. And you touched on a few things we don't have time to talk about now, but they're pretty sobering. The last scene that we have over there is we're at the Mount of Olives. So do we know exactly the place where Jesus ascended? No, except we know that he ascended from the Mount of Olives. And we know that the angel that appeared afterwards said, "Why are you looking up into heaven? The way he's just gone up, he's going to come back again." Now, from this perspective, we can see completely over Jerusalem. I mean, that whole, it's like seeing the city skyline of Chicago or something. It's all there. We can point out these different places that we've even been at. And when Barbra quotes from Psalm 122 about praying for the peace of Jerusalem, well, peace to Jerusalem is only going to come when Jesus comes back.
Right.
So that's what we're praying for. And one day Jesus is going to return, and he is going to sit on the throne where he belongs there in Jerusalem. And you can see things that are up there right now that others think that they can keep Jesus out, because the devil does not want Jesus to return, because he will set up his throne, his kingdom, and he will reign forever and ever. And so we look forward to that day. We pray for that. And what we do realize is what a privilege that we have been grafted in with God's chosen people, and that we have been made heirs to that which he originally said to Abraham for his descendants, but who would have known completely that his descendants would include us as well.
Right.
And so that's very gratifying. And yeah, I'm glad you ladies were there.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Thank
the others
you.
were there. And we'll continue to grow. And Breanne, a miracle will happen one day, and
One
you'll
day,
be there.
One day. I figure like the ratio to people that you brought, I could just bring my entire family. And then that way,
That's
I'd have at
right.
least one adult per kid.
That's right. I will take care of your youngest one the whole way there if you go.
Yes.
Well, ladies, thanks.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
for
you
coming
so
and thanks
Well,
for sharing.
Thank you for
This has been good.
fantastic trip.
Yeah. And yeah, so Breanne, what do we got going on Sunday?
Well, at church, for one thing.
Yeah.
And it's at 9:30.
It's at 9:30, so we want you to come there. That's one of those holy habits we talked about. Folks, thanks for listening. We love you so much, and hope we're going to announce in a few weeks when our next trip to Israel is going to be, and hope you can join us. So God bless you.